And welcome back to the Adam Rothstein Hockey Podcast. This is episode number 56. And today we are talking about Patrick Kane going to the Rangers. So it is Tuesday, February 28th, and tomorrow is March. With me today is my cousin, Joseph Rothstein. How are you doing, Joe?
Good. Great to be here, Adam. Thanks for having me.
All right. So Patrick Kane is coming to the Rangers, but it's not finalized, at least not while we're recording.
Actually, as of like moments ago, it just became finalized. You know what? When I it's on my of course it's on my phone. But I was going to essentially we got Patrick Kane and another minor league guy, and Chicago is getting two draft picks. One is conditional. I think we're also giving them a minor league guy, but there's a third team involved. And so basically with Kane, Chicago's taking retaining 50% of the contract. New York is taking 25, and the other 25 is going to Arizona. And then they are getting a 2025 third round pick, I believe. So Arizona, once again, proving itself to be the bank of the NHL, much like a lot of the teams we're seeing. Um, a lot of the trades that happened earlier with the week, you can see there's a lot going on with a lot of them. Trying to figure out where like GM's heads are at. Some of the trades seem lopsided. Obviously, there's a lot more behind the scenes than we're always allowed to see from standard media. So, but getting back to the Kane trade, from a Rangers fans perspective, I've been on the edge of my seat all day. I've been on the edge of my seat, probably for the last week, but today, with all the teasers, again with nothing being official, um, it was really hard to concentrate at work. But in the end, they announced it. It's a good deal. You know, it's happy to have him. I hope I'm a lot more excited than I may seem. It's the end of the day, but I'm super excited to have this guy. Uh, and now I'm gonna let you do some talking. Is your episode, but keep going.
Okay. He's gonna keep the number 88. If he doesn't, that's gonna be a huge disappointment.
I
I
think,
think it will still be hard. I do think it's gonna be an adjustment for him not playing with Jonathan Toews and to get into the dynasty. Jonathan Toews is the last player from the 2010 2013 and then the 2015 Cup of the Blackhawks of that dynasty. So Zebrook's gone, Crawford's retired,
yeah,
Duncan Keith,
Keith is gone to the still on the Oilers, I believe.
yeah,
Richards retired,
yeah,
so
yeah. It
I don't know who else. I don't know who else you got.
I don't know. Whoever I yeah, Crawford's gone. It's just yeah, it's not yeah, it's like they're pretty much yeah, not there.
Yeah,
And I guess that says a lot in the past 12 plus years or 12, 13 years.
yeah.
The
I mean, they had some miserable years, and then you know, uh, that team you just sparked some life, and it ended up being three cups for Chicago, and you know, I'm I can only speak from a Rangers perspective, but it's I all the tweets I see from Chicago fans are like, this is so sad, like this is the end of an era. Um, I felt that way about players. And we're super happy to have them. So, hopefully, we'll give them something good to root for.
yeah, yeah, I think Chicago would still be happy if the Rangers won a cup. I mean, uh
Yeah, it's one of those things out of like, I think if and when the Rangers make the Stanley Cup Finals, I wouldn't be surprised if you see a lot of Blackhawks fans being like, we're gonna wear our Kane gear. We just hope he score. If he scores a goal, I think all sides would be happy.
growing up at 16, that Christmas of 2010 when I was 16.
Mhm.
The I got a Patrick Kane ornament with him on the Blackhawks because he was a rookie that year, and it's like I fell in love with
Wow.
I fell in love with him. I guess he was my first. Okay, not in that sense.
Pause,
I
brother.
mean,
No,
but it was a
but
man crush or whatever we call it.
I mean,
But
I
I
mean,
just
true.
was like just enthralled by him scoring on this weirdo by the name of Sergei Bobrovsky. I
Yeah.
believe that, yeah, this weirdo. And he played for Florida for whatever reason, some weirdo, but no one really important. But and then he was playing against uh Chris Pronger.
Yeah.
And the Flyers haven't been back to a cup since that time,
Mhm.
uh, and I guess Tortorella. I mean, Tortorella used to be with the Rangers, and I don't think him and Patrick Kane would have worked well. But uh, I think,
Yeah.
I think he's going to fit in nicely. I think he may have his difficulties getting going, but
Mhm.
I think
Well,
go ahead.
I think one positive thing that to look at is that, he wanted to come here. Whether, I don't think it was one of those things where, you know, he like doesn't want to come here, but he still is anyway. Like I think, he's again, the stuff behind the scenes we're not seeing, but I think he knows that this is a team that's worth his time. Um, yeah, it's a team that it's worth his time, and I don't know, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Um, yeah, definitely. Mika Zibanejad and Kreider is the one that scored 50 goals, and but now Kane has not scored 50 goals, but he has 1,200 points in his 32 years of age career. In that time, I mean, in 12 years, 1,200 points is still not easy. you know, it's not really easy to achieve, but he missed some time. He missed still quite a lot of things during that time
Yeah, a
of
lot.
his career.
It's been a wild ride for his career. Obviously, you're drafted as this young American stud to a team that obviously is struggling at the time when they got the pick. Um, he's scored game winners. He's scored the game winner of his life. He's had some awesome celebrations. And then after life kind of got in the way it kind of always does, in different ways for all different players. And I think he's had his fair share of downs on the roller coaster that is his career. But you know, just take a look at what he was able to accomplish in his last couple of games in Chicago. He lit the lamp up twice and got an assist. Uh, in that one game where he came back, he scored the OT winner at like 0.01 seconds. Now, I'm not. I think they might have actually I saw they might have taken that away. I didn't look into it. I was just scrolling at the time, kept that in the back of the memory. But even still, just the video itself, just him, saying like, "Here's one more, here's one more high five for all the fans to have." Um, yeah, no, he loves loves that city, but again, he's excited for this new up. I think a player of his caliber knows he's still capable of accomplishing a lot. Um, and I'm not sure how how much how to quantify a lot, but eager to see how he connects with his projected line mates.
Of course. Now he has Igor Shesterkin. Adam Fox is going to be a, is the ace defenseman over there, and you got
Mhm.
Kreider and Zibanejad hit those three on the lines of Banajak, Kreider, and Kane. Oh, like that's unfair for like for most teams,
Yeah, and
as
I
well.
believe that I believe that would be the first line as well. Obviously, I'm not in charge. I don't work for the Rangers. I just see tweets. But it looks like it'd be Kreider, Zibanejad, Kane, Panarin, Trocheck, Tarasenko, the kid line, and then Mott, Beasy, and Goodrow. Our stud defensive pairings. Igor is he he's not having the best season, but that does not mean he's not having a good season. I don't know if I said that right, but he's playing fine. He's getting his game back. I feel like, like a week ago we were in a slump where we lost four. All right, get these slumps now. Figure out how to beat the slump now, and we'll ride out. Going into the playoffs with a lot of momentum. Our backup goalie, Halak, he stepped up a lot. I will be the first to admit that I was completely like against. I wanted to trade him so bad after his first couple of starts. No wins, um, terrible goals allowed, and when you're used to having this uh, Vezina winning goalie, it's just like get out of the net. What are you doing? And I always liked him. But we had Kincaid who came in the playoffs, where we had a nice run the year before, and I was like, well, I don't see what the issue is with him at all. I think he was just picked up from Boston during the trade period and all that. But overall, we have, I mentioned our lines. We have great defense. Our goalies support each other well. I think we respond well to our coach. Um, and I'm talking a lot. I hope that's fine. It's for the podcast. But
Yeah.
let's see. So I was just gonna continue along with all the positives for the coaching. Of course, this is a Rangers episode now, as I've hijacked it. But our goalie coach, Allaire, I mean, I think when you look at like the improvement Halak has had, um, you might really be able to point like directly at like the top line of like coach staff, and you'd be like, wow, we must like our front office is making great moves because we were able to hire a guy that like completely turned around our backups game around. Having someone to support Eager when he gets tired, is so important because we need him. We need him as best. So if he needs a night off, someone's got to step up for him and the team. And just seeing his performance, I mean, like what a just like good for him. That's like I hope he like is really happy with himself because he should be just like turning that around. I mean, it's so easy to you see how even like top athletes they can let negative energy get to them, and it's not necessarily the fans hounding them. It's they know they're not playing up to their expectations, but I think our whole staff is able to bring out the best in our players. Um, they're tough, even if what they lack in experience, and I think they make up for in heart. And so yeah, that's the team. So whatever you want to discuss next.
Um, I do
Or
want
can-
to discuss their win on Sunday of the 5-2 win, and they had four defensemen in that game.
yeah,
If and then I think okay, and now you had that game before King came along. Now I don't want to set the bar too high for the Rangers, but I do think they're that's just going to be all the more momentum because you're going to be able to play with five or six now. And so the D is going to be able to rest more. And you have Kane, who's going to be your new ace on offense. And
yeah,
and Shesterkin's going to be back, you know, be your
he
ace
should
as
be
well. In net,
he should
I
be
think
he
that's
should
going to
be
be what?
he should be on net. Shesterkin should be on net on Wednesday. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. With Lindgren day to day, he's a warrior, but he needs to heal because we need him. And the Loogie incident from Keandre Miller, what's basically gonna happen is we're going to we're probably gonna Lindgren's going to dress, but he's not going to see a lick of ice time. So we're going to have all of our defensemen. We're going to have enough players. I have to. It's I don't think I the information there was so much going on just with the way we were able to get Kane. We basically, for anyone who has been paying attention, or just maybe wants a refresher, we basically got Kane through, very like just managing our salary cap down to the last possible, well, not last possible day. That would be in 2 days, but we waited until the month. Um, the the cap stuff is still. I'm a big fan, and I love the game of hockey, but the cap stuff still kind of confused me sometimes. But yeah, I mean, we just I know we just decided this was the move. I'm glad it. I don't think we would have done it if it was too risky. Um, it is, and due to things out of like somewhat out of control. We're just gonna have to rough it with five defensemen and just hope that um, everyone makes it out okay. But things will be okay. We got through this weird part where we have to manage money and like basically like give ourselves the short end of the stick in a game. Um, but we won it. So, that's maybe hopefully that says a lot to any of the haters.
Yeah. Um, I do think I mean, there's still a lot to look back on with Kane. I did want to discuss that. The 2010,
Hmm.
we talked about that earlier, the 2013, the 2015. Um, when you have a three-time Stanley Cup champion coming to a team that hasn't won since
94.
uh since since I could barely crawl, um
Hmm.
it, it's been that weird thing. It's been a very weird time for
Hmm.
for the Blackhawks. They don't maintain it. 2016, you know, God bless them for beating the Bruins in 2013
Hmm.
against them. And and I do think that even though we're in the 20s, we're in the butterfly era. It's a different era of hockey. I think uh we've it could that happen again, that three-time dynasty again? I mean, the Lightning got to the Stanley Cup 3 years in a row. Not even Pittsburgh was able to do that throughout Crosby's tenure in
Hmm.
Pittsburgh. Kane, but the biggest question is, will Kane be able to deliver a cup? Maybe not this year, but next year. Uh, if you want to place your bets, where do you place your bet on if they get a cup? Which is more likely? They get it this year, or they go the full 82 games next season with Kane and then get the cup? What do you think is more likely?
I think right now we're all in. I think right now we got to be all in. We are all in. The time is now. We have the players, they're clicking. We were able to acquire these pieces for the season, and we're going to use these pieces to the best of our advantage. um if I'm not sure how we'd be able to re-sign all these guys, um or add them or whatever. And obviously, winning a cup might alter that, but that's I'm just focused on, I guess, now. And I'm not sure. I hope I can speak for Rangers fans when I say, like, I think we all feel the same way, that when you see the Devils acquire Timo Meyer, and you see Boston, kind of load up on their grit, and you see Toronto kind of uh, get on that lockdown defense. Who else? I mean, Islanders can make the playoffs. They got Bull Horvat. Buffalo is a sneaky one. They got Tage. He's really good.
Yeah.
And Canes are always scary. even though I'd much rather go up against them in the first round. They are a scary team. They got an incredible goalie tandem, which I'll give credit to. But we have guys who can score now. I mean, we've always have. But this guy, I mean, Kane, I mean, you just watch his highlight reel. This is just that just extra. He's got that extra step in him, which we just need. Kind of how, I mean, well, him and Panarin were line mates. Panarin's always seems to have that big brain on him when he plays, making those moves, even if sometimes it's like, what are you doing? He's just on a whole nother level of thinking. And I know that I think Rangers fans expect and are interested in that from Patrick Kane, that same level of awareness and just, how he handles the puck. Um, just communicate, just I think the hope is that Kane and Panarin will do that thing that cool athletes do, where they just read each other's mind and they just know exactly what to do. That's the hope. Again, we play the Flyers tomorrow. Should be a great opportunity to display this team in front of a team that hopefully we just score 10 on like last year. Um, but it might not click. It might not click now, and even when we go home to play the Senators, it might not click. Um, would love to beat the Flyers for Kane's first game. Would love to beat the Senators at home for Kane's first game at the Garden. Um, Really, I'm looking forward Saturday, 1 o'clock, Boston Bruins. These are now what some would argue the two powerhouse teams in the East, one in each conference going completely at it. Um, a win and just overall solid performance would be great. I think that will be the real, this will be this. It's interesting the way things are playing out and the way we're almost going to give Kane a test with three different levels of intensity. Which an away game against a struggling rival, like can we crush them? Uh, a home game against a team with a lot to prove at home. It's like can you light up the lamp at home? Could you score in the first minute or 3 minutes? I forget what it was, like Tarasenko did. That was electric. That's what the fans want. And then when we play Boston, can we show that we're not here to lose in the first round and we're here to go all the way? And that energy in general, I think that's what Rangers fans want, and I think we're excited to see all this come to fruition within the next 3 games. Yeah, 3 games.
Yeah. I think the battle of the tri-state area, as a Mr. Doofenshmirtz would put it, one on that show, Phineas and Ferb, uh, is going to be great. There, we've got the Flyers on tomorrow, or maybe I'll just release this tonight. Who knows? Or
Whatever you feel best. I mean, these are
I
my
think
take.
I'll still like we're gonna see how well let's see how well what we were thinking. I'll still keep it Thursday. Or
Yeah,
what do you want?
post it. I'm okay with having this come out and all my hot takes being exposed. It really is fine.
Okay.
Maybe we can get 1 million views from something stupid I said.
Okay. And I'll definitely uh and I think I still need to update something else at a certain time, and I've got to like check something out there. So yeah, I did not do okay. That's that's fine then. I'll have
think
to release
I think
episode
my
55 on the YouTube. I'm behind on my YouTube.
okay. I think my
So please check out the podcast on Spotify and wherever you get this podcast. That's going to be a shameless plug, and a little other shameless plug before we continue. Please subscribe to my Substack. That is rothstein.substack.com. That's rothsteina.substack.com. So definitely, of course. Oh, is everything good?
Yeah, I'm just grabbing water.
That's okay.
I just gotta stay hydrated.
Oh man. Okay. I was doing. I'll tell you this afterward. The okay. So we have the Battle of the Tri-State area. The Senators are coming down, and I'm not. I'm actually not too worried about the Senators at all, but
Uh,
Boston, go
you mean
ahead.
against the Rangers or just in general?
Senators coming up against the Rangers. I'm not going to be too worried about that.
Me neither. Me neither. I you know I think I think the Flyers are going to be harder to play because they're going to bring that rival energy. The cool thing about hockey is that all the players are really good. Some players are combined are just better than others. So there's never a guaranteed win. Arizona, this joke team everyone always talks about. They've beat some great teams. They beat Boston. They gave no, it was and that was Seattle who gave Boston their first home loss. But even still, teams will surprise you. Um, I don't think the Rangers have surprised anyone this season at all. So, I think we're excited. Obviously, we're happy, but these are the expectations that we had. We made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, and the expectation was we're going to make it to the Stanley Cup Finals this year. Um, you know, this is something all teams kind of promise to their fans. Um, I hope that last year it can just show that we're more than capable than any other team of accomplishing this. We're a sneaky team. The Rangers are sneaky. They just kind of win these games all of a sudden, then they could put. But you know, we've this is the NHL's first super team. Do you think you might agree with that statement that this might be the first super team
No,
in the mo-
no, no,
in,
no, no. You have the era of the Gretzky's
so you mean okay, wait, let me rephrase, even though I think it's still no. I mean, is this a super team in the salary cap era?
or the butterfly era. You know what? Fine. Well, I'll go. It's the first time in the butterfly era. Let's just go with that.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. I
and,
like that.
and you know what the butterfly era is, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
always.
it's this Patrick Waugh style of play. So there's that. Marchand and Pasternak gonna be a tough one. Now I did talk recently about Omar getting his first NHL goalie goal. That was pretty
Hmm.
fun. When that dropped.
Yeah,
Or
you know, um, you know, we Rangers fans almost, definitely give Boston. I mean, we saw we go almost get a goal this year. That would have been cool to have two goalies in the year, but congrats to him. I think he's going to win the Vezina. He deserves it. He's ahead of everyone. He's put on a show. Um, he supports his backup really well. The goalie love they got going on. And I mean, you just look at Boston, it's kind of hard not to highly consider that. Also, I have to my phone's at 10. Phone's
your
at 10%.
your phone's at 10, dude. Dude, I
Hold
thought
on.
you were on your laptop.
No, because my camera was being weird. Hold on. I'm gonna figure this out.
Okay, if you charge it,
Oh, we're good. Oh, we're almost good. We're gonna be good in a second.
okay. Um,
I think we're
so
good. We're good.
okay, perfect. The Rangers um are definitely a dark horse right now. They are uh you're not gonna see them come. I think the I think hmm I think Boston is the favorite to win the cup overall.
And
Um
I get
I'm not expecting that cup to cross the border at all. I'm expecting an American team again. And I'm
hmm
thinking Boston, New York. I can't even think of I like who would you put in the West really?
well,
Because
what
like if you
mm,
had to choose a Western team conference team to win it, who do you take?
okay. Well, let's see. Um, I'm not I don't not a Canadian team. Well, you know what? I could see Winnipeg going kind of far. I won't
Okay.
count them out. Hellbuck's still really good, and they're having a great season. Um, I mean, you got Seattle, Seattle, Vegas, LA. I mean, all those, you know, as someone a fan of a team in the East, you know, and I'm not sure how many other Eastern Conference team fans feel this way. I haven't thought once about the West. You know what I mean? Because the
Yeah.
East is just, I think teams like even the Devils, the Canes, the Bruins. I think even probably Toronto and Tampa Bay as well. You know, the top three in each division. I think we look at the West and we go, just get me to the finals, and we're gonna smoke these clowns. Um, I guess, I'd like to say I don't want. It's weird. Like it stinks. It's crazy how much Colorado isn't like dominating because I could just see him going on a very sneaky run. They know how to they know how to win a cup. Um, let me think. I think I probably have to stick with, you know what? I'll go Winnipeg and Dallas. No, those are two those are two central teams. Need one. Well,
Well, no,
it could
no,
be
yeah,
it could be two central, but
could be.
it could be, but they're gonna have to. I think they're gonna have to face. So I guess I'd have to go Winnipeg,
LA.
either LA or Vegas. I think Seattle might win a round. Getting to the playoffs is fine enough for them, even though I'd like to see them do well. I don't like to hate on McDavid, but I haven't seen anything that will tell me he's going to make it out of the first round. And quite frankly, as much as I think it'd be cool to see the Leafs make history in their own way, I have yet to be I have yet to be convinced that either of those teams has what it takes to make it out of the first round.
Yeah, I don't think the Leafs are gonna win a Stanley Cup. I think Austin Matthews is gonna win a cup, just not with the Leafs. And McDavid's gonna win a cup, just not with the Oilers. I
Isn't
think the Canadian teams are just now cursed. And
it's
and
an un it's a bit unfortunate. They deal with a lot more nonsense, so to speak, than down here. And players don't want to play up there. It's I don't can't speak for everyone, but and it's for some people it's just as simple as, taxes sucks that it has to. But when you see what was his name? When you see Matthew Tkachuk go from the Calgary Flames down to the Florida Panthers, you can tell he has a little extra jingle in his pocket.
but like especially in Florida, I mean, like, yeah, we have no state income tax
Florida.
here, and it's like, of course you want to freaking keep your millions of dollars. Like, like you're making like, I don't know, 3 million a year on average for some of these players, and if you're up in Canada, you could basically be taxed more than half of it. I mean, why would anyone want to be playing there? But I mean,
Yeah.
Sidney Crosby is not going to be would stay in Pittsburgh for the rest of his career, so long
Yeah.
as he doesn't have to pay extra in taxes. I do not blame him.
Yeah, I got you. But I mean, hey, prove me wrong. All these teams, I'm here to be proven wrong. If Toronto, like Toronto's going all in, just like the Rangers are. I'm not even talk. I don't have much to say about Toronto other than they really like went in on their defensive acquisitions today, and for a team that maybe doesn't have like the best goalie situation, it's good for them. I mean, you got Matthews, Marner, Tavares, Nylander. I mean, I don't know what the issue is. Maybe they're just cursed. It would be a little sad to not see either McDavid or Matthews win a cup with the teams who drafted them. It would be it would be a little sad, I feel.
Yeah. Marcel Dion was probably the second best player uh, of the late 70s and the 80s, but he was drowned out by some guy by the name of Wayne Gretzky. And had Wayne Gretzky played any other sport, Marcel Dion gone on and been considered one of the greatest, or maybe even Bossy, or um, or even
Maybe the
maybe even Mario Lemieux could have been considered the best of all time. But Marcel Dion had like 1,700 points. He was not, and I don't think he ever played more than 80 games in a season. So he
Mhm.
never played a full season, which was down on him. He could
Yeah.
not get past the Oilers during his time,
Hmm.
and he just never even got to play in a cup. Not even just get to the finals and lose, but he never played in a cup final. And that could certainly be the case for Matthews or McDavid as well. And I think McDavid's could definitely get to 160 points this year, and we haven't seen that really since
And
the 80s.
we get to witness our own little piece of history. Um, you know what? Maybe you can come to the Rangers. Nah, I'm just kidding.
No,
Um,
no, 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 no. It would be no if you would take McDavid over Kane, I mean, like, yeah, I'll take McDavid over Kane. I'm sorry, all the Patrick Kane fans out there in Chicago. But no, we'll take McDavid over Kane because he's younger and 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 he just knows how to deke defenders so much easier. I'll take McDavid over Kane any day. I'm
I mean,
sorry.
one of McDavid's best goals of all time is against the Rangers. That's the funny thing about that team is the Rangers is there always seems to be on the we have our great moments, but we always seem to be on the opposite end of the highlight spectrum. It's always a lot of the best goals of all time have been scored on the Rangers. I mean, I'll admit it. I'm not here to gloat that much, other than I think we got a great team as of 8 p.m. tonight.
As of 8 p.m. Oh my God. Like I was like still like it's 9:12 here on the East Coast as we're recording this on a Tuesday night. Uh I think the Rangers are gonna it's going to be close. I think the Flyers are going to have a little oomph in their stuff. I'm going to make it a 4-2 call, but I'm not going to call a goalie goal, but there's going to be an empty net goal for the Rangers at the Wells Fargo Arena.
Yeah,
Um,
shout out Wells and shout out Fargo.
yeah,
Do you think
Fargo, North Dakota. Go. I never saw that movie.
do you think Kane will score tomorrow, or do you think
Yeah.
I believe I okay, awesome. That's what I like to hear. I think a pretty medium take would be he'll score in the next 3 games. Um, and it will be cool. Hopefully a game winner, just like we meant for it to happen. Um, but yeah, overall, pretty exciting league so far. In an unbiased for an unbiased opinion. Like watching all the moves being made. It's interesting to see, which teams are all in, which teams are, trying to rebuild, which teams are trying to get Connor Bedard, and which teams are just trying to, stay alive. Um, it's exciting as always. It's always different when your team's doing well, based on when your team's not doing well. Because when your team's not doing well, you're kind of just like, I hope everyone wins, and I hope the best outcome happens for all fans. And then, your team's in, you're just like, we have to win. Game's on the line. You know, uh, I've been wearing, all through high school, we wear gross white stained Rangers jersey to school in pride, and it wasn't for nothing. It was I'm a fan, a true fan at heart.
And my Washington Capitals always seem to find a way to beat the Rangers. And
Yeah,
there,
sometimes. They made some trades today. I think they're unloading a bit. I don't think they want to Ovechkin's there to stay. We'll see what happens with this team. It might just be that one of those teams where it's like, hey, we're gonna watch Ovechkin break a record, and that might sell enough tickets, even if they're not at their prime. But
yeah.
you know, obviously want the Rangers to do well, but we're gonna start to see some teams move in some different directions. Florida Panthers won the President's Trophy last year, I believe. And now they're kind of sitting out of a playoff spot in a very tough Eastern Conference. But nonetheless, what happened? Um, Colorado, they're hovering in the wild card. I mean, the West is very tight. I'm trying to think of other teams. Most are expected. Buffalo's doing better, which is in contrast to Florida kind of sinking. Islanders kind of going from a amazing season to a terrible season back to kind of standard. I think they'll also sneak in. Um, but yeah, it's stuff like that. Like that I do look forward to outside of being a Rangers fan. Can McDavid help his team win round one playoffs? Can Matthews and the Leafs do the same? Can and a lot of the matchups seem to be set. Toronto basically is preparing to go up against Tampa Bay, the team that kept them from making the first round again last year, and then went on to go to the Stanley Cup Finals to actually lose. But still, it's a huge. It's always on the line for Toronto come playoff time, and the Rangers might even play the Devils round one. Like, yeesh, like we'll talk about a
Battle of the
increased heart.
Lincoln Tunnel, I'll call it.
Yeah,
The Battle of
yeah,
the Lincoln Tunnel.
exactly. Just a train ride away. Um, I don't know anything else you want to discuss.
Let's see what else is there. Uh, I think the, I think, it, it would be so good with, I mean, when you have Panera Bread, I'm referring to Panera, not in this context, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
when you
know
have
exactly.
Panera Bread and okay,
Yeah,
when you have Panarin, Shesterkin, Kreider, and Zibanejad with Kane, and then you have Adam Fox on defense. I mean, it's like you get your aces out there at all at once. It's like how do you
yeah,
stop that? Like,
yeah. We'll have when that power play comes out, like can this be an unstoppable power play? Mika's got the one timer. Kane is elusive. Kreider at the front of the net. Um, Fox is always sending good shots up to the front for chances. He's got a great mind as well. Um, hopefully, it's very important to capitalize on, the other team's mistakes. Um, so, when they happen, um, I think, hopefully we'll see an insanely great power play unit come to fruition.
that's a great power play. The penalty kill, I don't think we're gonna see much of a difference there. I mean, it's gonna be
No, we'll
yeah.
have our warrior defense on the line, and who knows? Maybe Kane's shorthanded goal. I like to. It's nice to manifest
Yeah.
positive
Yeah, I mean
game.
maybe you put Can out there assuming he doesn't get into the box. But yeah.
But yeah, I'm actually not sure at all what the penalty kill lines would look like at all. Still waiting to see, all my websites update with him on the roster. So,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely have to do some internet searching tomorrow on, any updates that the team might have made. But yeah, we'll get to see it that tomorrow. So that's cool. I think a lot of us were, thinking that this trade would come Friday, the last possible day, and then we heard Wednesday. And I was like, well, today's gonna stink because I'm waiting for tomorrow. And then around like 3, there was teasers, but nothing official. And then official, like literally right before you called me.
Oh, nice. And that's like just the perfect ending to your day. And to end this segment, I've got to promote my stuff. Okay, so if you need a journal, go buy that hockey journal. That is in the show notes below. So definitely go check that out as well. If you want to subscribe to my Substack. That is $5 a month. If you do not want to pay the $5, don't worry. I have a free version. Just use your email to sign up for it. Go there and go to the source, rather, rothstein.substack.com. The link for that is in the show notes. Subscribe to the YouTube channel when you get the chance. So please be sure to do that. That is, search out Adam Rothstein Hockey Podcast there on YouTube. And I think that's it. Joe, you wanted to do anything? Anything else?
Well, might as well just, I didn't put it on, but just want to end the show with, let's go Rangers. And
Okay, that was a little blurry though. Yeah, try again.
you get the point. It's the jersey. Yeah, I have the blur on, but it's fine.
Okay.
Let's go Rangers.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. So definitely check that out on YouTube. Actually, no, this is going to be a video episode on Spotify, so you can still subscribe to me over there if you want to get the video there, and you don't have to worry about the YouTube links coming in. So definitely stay subscribed on Spotify. It's my best platform, not YouTube, because I guess I get more random people listening to that. Up to 333 plays or downloads, depending on what Anchor calls them, Anchor.fm. I really appreciate that. And I really appreciate all of you for listening to this podcast. One more thing before I go. Please rate this 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, yes. Spotify, and write me a little review. Let me know what you think of this. And with that being said,
everyone say good job comments. That's what we need. We need everyone go to the comments and just say good job, Adam, if possible.
Okay. Yeah, on YouTube or just on Apple Podcasts, just write me the review 5 stars and just say good job, Adam. Like even that would still work because those Apple reviews certainly help as well. So with that being said, stay safe, stay great, and I'll talk to you all in the next episode. Take care.
Thanks, Adam.